Y'all listen, we just finished rapping. Y'all see the shadow. Listen, because we've been here a long time. The sun's setting on us. But I appreciate you for joining us. Stay tuned problem. And look at this video coming up with the Therapeutic Junkie.
It's dope.
Yes. Bye. Look who I'm with. Look, the Therapeutic Junkie. We about to bring you an amazing interview. Stay tuned.
Hey.
Listen, y'all, we about to get some snacks. About to do a behind the scenes interview. Look at the little doggy. I done pulled up at the house. I pulled up at the house too, y'all. Hey. Look, I can't. Either you're my friend or you're not.
Right.
Y'all say so.
Making therapists real.
Mm-hmm.
So while yes, I'm a therapist and I can help you work through your issues, I still am working through mine.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not always okay, but I was taught to always be okay when you weren't okay. Like you cry here, but when you go out there, you smile.
Right.
You know,
and just play that part to a certain degree.
And I was taught that being selfish is not okay, and that's why when I called in, I was like, being selfish is absolutely okay.
Look, y'all, a little behind the scenes. This is Miss Deanne, or Miss Therapeutic Junkie's son. What's your name?
My name is Camden.
Camden, and how old are you?
8.
8 years old. And you play football, right?
Yeah.
You were working hard this morning, weren't you?
Yeah.
You like football?
Yeah.
You gonna be pro?
Uh-huh.
What school you wanna go to?
LSU.
LSU. I like it. I like it. Shout out to you, man. What a day it is to be.
E2E.
Hey guys, listen, it is Sunday. Happy Self-Care Sunday. How are you? I'm Cara, your favorite career cheerleader, talking therapy with the Therapeutic Junkie, stigmas, and situational depression. Okay, so we're gonna talk about some things today. She had her first annual Hey Sis. I think it might be quarterly, it might be super frequent, I don't know, but I'm gonna be at the next one. Her first Hey Sis conference and brunch and just get together yesterday. Here she is on camera. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. It's Sunday, you know, self-care Sunday.
Hello.
This is my self-care for today.
This is my self-care too, as well. We are gonna have a successful conversation about just sisterhood and stigmas and just situational depression. Like what does that really mean? What are therapists? What do they do? But first, let's start with, who are you? So who are you, ma'am?
I am Deanne Horn Davis. I am an LPC resident. I'm also a certified substance abuse counselor. I am a single mother and a single woman. I am a caregiver for my mother and my son. And I am somebody who struggles every day, just like everybody else.
Every day.
But I make it.
Listen,
you know,
we all struggling.
Right.
We all struggling.
That's me. I'm a real person that happens to be a therapist.
Right. What main stigmas do you want to denounce when it comes to therapy and people who should get therapy and therapists? What's the difference, maybe?
So I think that therapy is for everybody, okay? So whether you are currently struggling, you have struggled, or you are just simply enjoying and living life, therapy is for you. I think therapy is not something, therapy is something you can enter in while you're in crisis. However, I think that it is good for therapy to engage in therapy as maintenance. Just like you go to the hairdresser, just like you get your nails done, just like you meet up with your girlfriends, you meet up with your therapist. If you only need once a month, 30 minutes, do it. You know, it's just it's kind of like having life insurance. We get those things. We have life insurance policies. We hope we never have to truly use it. So get a therapist, use them for the maintenance. However, just hope that you never have to go in a crisis. You know, and if you do the work now, then you might, it might not be a crisis because you've been doing the work so much that you've been able to maintain it. As far as who therapists are normal people every day that have their own struggles. One of the reasons that I birthed Therapeutic Junkie was because I sat down one day and was like, so I just signed up to help people, but I need help.
I'm I'm the motivational speaker, but ain't nobody motivating me. What are we doing here?
Yeah, you know, like I just finished crying yesterday because my feelings were hurt.
Girl.
You know, and so I had my own struggles, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a therapist.
Right.
You know, my struggles don't define me as a professional.
Right.
And I love all things therapeutic, and I am that person that will go. And like I will come home and I'll be like, yeah, you should do X, Y, and Z. And then I get in the house and my son's jumping on the couch, and I'm not gonna explain to you how I reacted to it. But you know,
but you reacted.
But I did
You
react.
didn't respond. Right.
So I think Therapeutic Junkie really is just, I want to normalize therapy, normalize therapists, and I'm very transparent.
Right.
Very, very, very transparent. And so that's where I am with that aspect.
Right. Well, shout out to you being transparent and sharing your journey. See, some people have some comments. Trisha says she gets her maintenance every other Friday. Shout out to consistent therapy.
Yes.
It's necessary. Kim said, hello, fabulous, strong women. My life is a struggle. Thankful for this opportunity to spend time with you and your truthfulness. Yes.
My life is a struggle too, girl.
Everybody's listen, people see the career cheerleader, and y'all know the story. Like, I only came up with it because I needed a cheerleader and couldn't find one.
That's right.
Okay,
I need to go to therapy myself. I am a therapist who has not ever been to therapy.
Oh, bless your heart.
Let me tell you why. Because I'm gonna be on the other side of the couch like, that's not how you do that technique. Okay? So
you were trying to tell the girl what she doing.
And then when I have called therapists,
You gotta believe
I
in
don't
them.
I don't get the calls back, or to find a therapist takes work.
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, it's money in your DMs and your inboxes.
Let me tell
Y'all
you
gotta
something.
respond to these messages.
Yes. So for me, I kind of gave up. And so I always aspire to be the therapist for others that I want in myself.
Right.
I mean, want for myself.
Right.
You know. So yeah.
Right. I feel the same way. Like, even when I go to events or I pull up on you, I'll be featured on the pull up. Please email thecareercheerleader@gmail.com.
Yes, because she will pull up.
I'm
really at my house.
I'm at her house.
Got piles of laundry
Like,
behind this
girl,
closed door right
we can
here.
take forever to get together. I'm just gonna come to the house. I pull up how I want people to pull up for me. You know, so I try to give the support that I want to give. So you're doing the same thing with this therapist mission. Let's talk about situational depression, because I was asking her earlier. We had a whole conversation. I was saying, you know, some people, we're in a toxic culture right now where people are, look at me using those keywords. People talking about, this is toxic, that's toxic, everything's toxic. But can you not just be going through something in life, period, without it being a whole classification? You are depressed, you are going through. So what's the difference? And she shared about situational depression. Could you tell them about that?
So situational depression isn't like a real diagnosis. So let's clear the air so that therapists aren't jumping all over me, XYZ.
Right.
So what I explained to Cara, the career cheerleader, is that we all have toxic behaviors. We all go through toxic situations. And just because you're going through something that may make you depressed, that doesn't mean that you are clinically depressed. The diagnosis officially out of the DSM is major depressive disorder.
Okay.
There are a lot of qualifications that you have to meet to even be diagnosed with that. Now, are there different things? Are there change of life situations? Are there parent-child issues that can make you depressed? Absolutely. So depression can also be a state, but it doesn't have to be a diagnosis.
Right.
When you are diagnosed with depression, that means it is affecting you in all areas of your life. So that means that you can't function. You're not going to work. You're not completing your daily ADLs, managing your home. People who are clinically depressed, you know, like, they don't pay bills. They stop doing different things.
They stop opening the mail.
Yeah,
I've been there. Yeah.
So yes, you can go through a state of depression, or I call it situational depression, where a situation just really brings you down. You know?
Absolutely.
But what I will say is those situations can be the antecedent to a diagnosis.
Right.
So that's why going to therapy on a regular basis is appropriate, so that you can avoid those types of situations.
I feel like therapy is kind of like, you know, you heard of a blood thinner when your blood's too thick, or going through, you know, your heart can't pump, or what have you. Therapy is like your, a stress thinner. Like, it just helps you work through those things day by day by day, and it gives you tools to fill up your toolbox, because we always talk about things, we're exhausted, we feel empty, I can't go on, but, maybe if you have additional resources in your toolbox, Red Table Talk RVA being one of them, a place you can go.
Hey Sis being one of them.
Yeah, Hey Sis, we're going to talk about that in just a second. A place you can go, things you can use to keep around you to feel successful. Like I put on my mental heel. Shout out to James Harris. Put on my.
He's a South University graduate, by the way. Go South. We put out some of the best clinical people in the city.
Shout out to James, bro. When you keep things around you that just keep you motivated and focused and empowered, not just shirts, not just pages to go to, but in addition to therapy, like all those things will help you stay amazing. Like you have your own shirts as well.
Yes. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about. That's a great way to open the door.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. And let's talk about your brunch a little bit. Then we'll get back into depression and different things that we need to talk about. But your brunch was so welcoming, and I couldn't come without being at the next one.
Yes.
Her brunch.
It's gonna be on a Friday night, so it's not gonna interfere with anybody's kids' basketball, football.
Right. No sports.
Because I'm a football mom, so I get after March 27th or something like that. There's
football.
no more functions on Saturday
football.
for me.
Me too.
Okay, just miss me. Don't plan anything on Saturday because I'm not gonna be there. So Hey Sis is inspired by, I have a little cousin. She's one. Her name is Zoe. And she doesn't call me by my name. She calls me Hey Sis.
Okay.
So when I call my cousin, like if there, of course it comes, everything's Bluetooth now. So she'll be in the backseat and I'll say, Hey Riss, or greet my cousin. She's like, Hey Sis, from the backseat, but of course in her 1-year-old tone.
Right.
And no matter what I'm feeling or going through at that moment, it literally makes me smile, laugh, and then then we say it back like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
And I feel better.
I feel you.
And so one of the things that I wanted to do with the Hey Sis brunch was kind of to have an opportunity for women to not feel stressed about going to events. So I didn't want them to feel stressed about what they had to wear. I didn't want them to feel stressed about how much it costs or how much money they could afford. So it's a dine on your own dime type of thing. So what it is that you come and you participate on what you can afford in your budget. Okay?
And how you want to.
And how you want to. And I give away with some wine glasses that you can also drink water and anything else that you would like to drink.
What you want.
Yes.
This is a whole nother beverage.
But yeah, so Hey Sis was, I just wanted to bring women together because I think that support and networking, not networking to promote businesses, networking to find people outside of your box, your bubble, in your everyday, to just feed off of and get that organic positive energy. And that is exactly what we had yesterday. Hey Sis is the gateway into workshops, conferences, retreats, support groups, all of those
healing.
Things. So Hey Sis is a movement. We will do a pop-up event in March because so many people missed the event yesterday. A lot of them didn't know about it. Some people missed because their kids' basketball game, it was picture day around the rec. So it was just a lot going on. And I wasn't upset that people didn't come. I didn't take it personal, and I didn't do invites because I didn't want anybody to feel obligated. I only want people to participate that want to participate.
First of many.
So we had very organic, candid, lots of laugh, no judgment conversation. We done talked about from divorce to being a mom to professional struggles to just, hey, this is how I came today. So you can follow me at Therapeutic Junkie, and that's how the RSVPs are done for Hey Sis. Okay. It's by DM message.
Straight inbox.
I'm gonna
inbox.
Yes, listen. Don't be scared to pull up in my inbox. Okay.
I'm not. I'll pull up in anybody. Well, we all need a place to go where nothing's expected of you. You just need to show up and be amazing.
This is why people shouldn't pull up at me in my house.
Say hey.
Hello.
Can you go back to the room, please? Thank you.
Because we're real right here in these streets. Okay, this is real life.
All things. The dog was here a minute ago. You didn't. It was too low.
I was trying to pet it under the table. So with all the social media and toxic and how things can travel at the speed of light, how should people stay grounded as they're scrolling?
It's okay to unfollow people. It is okay to unplug. Yeah. So for me, I have a personal social media page, that I don't even think my personal page followers know about their very few, not all of them know about Therapeutic Junkie. I keep them very separate. And Therapeutic Junkie was also started because my personal page, the timeline was just very negative and toxic, and it was just really defeating, and it was all these posts about men being ain't shit, but I know a lot of ain't shit women, you know, like, I mean, it was just and then there was just a lot of fallacies being played on social media, and I'm like, but I know you in real life, and that's not what you told me yesterday, but I'm gonna mind my business, you know what I'm saying? There are days when I don't even go on my personal page, or I might just go to post something that's not appropriate for Therapeutic Junkie, but I thought was hilarious, and then I go back to Therapeutic Junkie. So for me, the most recent Kobe Bryant was very triggering for me because I was in an accident in November where I was head on into a tree with my son in the car. And I remembered for days after that just really breaking down and being like, I could have killed us both, you know. And it was literally an accident. I wasn't texting, I wasn't drinking and driving, I wasn't doing any of it. It was legit an accident. And so I just went back to the fact that this man literally went to church, he was living his everyday life, and he just didn't make it home. And so to see some of the things was very triggering for me, and it also was triggering because I just felt bad for the other families who lost people who, because they weren't Kobe Bryant, they didn't get the height that they, you know, they're grieving too, you know. So compassion fatigue, and it's saying, like, you know, we taught our staff, like, when you're helping people every day and it's hard and you have to go home and then live your life, right? Social media wears you down. Then I only listen to the news for the weather because I just can't listen to anything. What I can appreciate about Instagram per se is that what you like and you look at on Instagram, they give you more of. So if you are liking and looking at toxic stuff, then you're gonna get more toxic stuff. So you can tailor what comes up on your timeline.
True. So, yeah. I feel like I saw something recently that kind of, in regards to social media, just discussed how when you're looking at the news or you're looking at a magazine or reading a book, you're looking at it to be entertained or educated.
Yeah, because the news is not an accurate form of any type of information. Because they tell us what they want us to know.
Yes, they do. But you know, when you go out to seek these specific things, you get the response or what you need. You get entertained, educated. But sometimes when you're scrolling social media, especially if you're like on the Explore page, there may be triggering things that you aren't even realizing are affecting you and your psyche just by scrolling past it. So again, it may even be just for shock value, and it's not even something that concerns you in your daily life. Some of these pet videos and, you know, people falling off buildings or risking their life, walking on the edge of things, you know, just random things that you'll scroll past. Just be mindful what you're ingesting. Well, yeah, we talked about it's okay to be not okay. Situational depression. Anything else you want to dive into? Like, what are some people just missing with therapy? Like, or what should people know about therapy? Like, I know it's amazing.
So what people are missing about therapy is that therapy is work. Okay?
Therapy is work.
So
it's not just a one-stop shop.
No. So what a therapist is not going to do is tell you how to fix it. We are trained, which was very hard in training. We are trained to not give you the answers. Now we will lead you to the answers. And that's hard because when you see somebody that is truly in a dark place, you just want to fix it as a human. As human nature, you want to fix it, right? But we can't fix it. You have to do the work. You have to go through that pain. You have to go through that storm to get to the other side. If I fix it for you, then you're just gonna be a habitual. You're just gonna be with me forever. And as much as I would like people to be with me forever, you have to. No
attachments in 2020.
No attachments. Right. You know. So I think that identifying a therapist that works for you, okay, is very much a full-time job. Right. And do not be ashamed if your therapist doesn't work for you. Okay? Because for those people who go to therapy, it's not cheap. Yeah. Okay? Most of us do it through insurance. I suggest that. Go through EAP through your job.
Yeah.
Listen.
Get flex spending for reimbursement.
All that. Use your benefits, Please. Okay? Yeah. All that. Okay? Because you pay good money for every check.
Find out about your benefits.
Find out about your benefits. But shop around. Unless you're core mandated to go to a specific person, shop around for or any type of mandated. So I think that, and just be prepared to do the work. Do not go into therapy and feel like this person is going to tell you what to do. Okay?
Right.
They will give you suggestions. They will tell you different activities to do. You, number one, have to listen. You have to be open-minded, and you have to be you have to trust. So it's a two-way street. So they, so I just think that people think that when they go to therapists, you're supposed to fix it. Okay.
Right.
And we're not going to tell your business. So
right.
Confidentiality is key, and that is breaching confidentiality is the fastest way to get your license pulled from you, and that is a serious offense. Like if you think serious. Like losing a driver's license is some shit, like losing your therapy, your board certification is very serious, and it's a breach of confidence. Like the ethics, it just goes like this. It just goes like this. So we're not gonna go around gossiping about what we talk about in the office. I think that's another thing to keep in mind. But yeah.
I love it. Well, I normally ask people, what's your favorite form of self-care? And I want you to answer for two people, though. Like, how do therapists take care of themselves after? Because I don't know is there a maximum number of clients you have after hearing everybody's trauma and problems? How do they take care of themselves? And then what is your own personal form of self-care?
So personally, I absolutely suck at self-care.
She's being transparent. She's being honest. You're not the first person to say you're not doing self-care. This is self-care, though. We have conversations. Yes. This is a good conversation, though. This is self-care.
So I think that I have intentionally made an effort since last year to engage in self-care and not to be ashamed of needing my time. So I have taken a dolo trip by myself. I go out for a drink by myself or dinner. I sometimes lay in my bed and just don't care what needs to be done.
That is self-care.
I have packed
up. It's not lazy.
Right. I have packed up from work and just said, I gotta go today. I have gotten other people to pick up my kid, which this is when I always feel really guilty about. I have not shown up to events because I just didn't have the energy. So saying no sometimes is self-care. As far as self-care as a therapist, even though I'm a resident, so I do have supervision under a great LPC, but I seek supervision in my other professionals. And so just really seeking support and comfort from other professionals that are like-minded and that take the job seriously.
That.
Supervision, and they preach it. The three things they tell us in school and in supervision: go to therapy, engage in self-care, which I'm working on, and seek supervision, which I've never been ashamed to do.
Okay. Shout out to the leadership, though. I will say that as far as therapy,
that's that good self-education.
They did good. Listen, as far as therapy, like personally, I shout out to my therapist, who I have not seen in a little while.
It's okay.
But when I first started therapy, I did Talkspace. And, one of my girlfriends is a therapist, and she was like, I don't know about, missing the physical cues. We love senses, sight and feeling.
Oh, because we're heavily trained on body language.
Right, hearing their tone. But there was another layer of it for me. I was having, like, middle of the night anxiety and insomnia. Like, I couldn't get through certain thoughts and feelings. And 3 a.m. just was when they happened to bubble up. And I could text my therapist. That helped me. So again, just find what works for you. Over time, I definitely recognize the benefits of that in-person therapist. So I transitioned off of it. But at that time, that was absolutely what I needed. That middle of the night cry, that midnight cry. Plus she was in California time, so I could text at midnight and it's 9 p.m. for her and she could really get it. But they actually stopped that. So now on Talkspace, your therapist has to be in the same state because of, I guess, the different laws and whatnot.
Yes.
But
that's all HIPAA and all that good stuff.
At the time, I'm glad they didn't know about the law because I needed her to be in California time to help me at midnight. So the Lord knows what he's doing.
That's really dope. And one of my girlfriends, Stephanie Linden, she is doing teletherapy. She's doing it because there's training that you have to do.
Yeah.
And it's not
beneficial.
Cheap. It is not cheap for a therapist to go through. That's why the service is expensive. And she has really been looking into doing teletherapy or doing like traveling therapy, like going to Atlanta and different things. And I just was kind of like, that takes out. I was kind of like your girlfriend.
Girl,
how does that work? Yeah. But I think that I never thought about that need in the middle of the night because for my clients, I'm like, keep a journal by your bedside.
Right. Well, another thing that I was able to do, they brought this on later. Shout out to these kids. You get
So
the
nobody,
snack, y'all.
everybody been in their room all
being
day.
transparent.
As soon as we talked for an hour before we went live, and then everybody want to come out their room.
Because first of all, this is an amazing show, and they want to see it. But another thing I was able to do when I realized maybe the text, like maybe you're not hearing what I'm saying, we can send voice memos.
Okay.
And it helped me because then I could go back and re-listen to see how I felt, and then like because after it's died
that's
down,
real dope.
yeah, after it's died down, the emotion ain't there. Well, that was another thing too. I couldn't hold on to and harbor the anger and emotion that I felt at the time to my next appointment next Wednesday at 3.
And that is a benefit.
Talkspace helped me.
That is a benefit because I think sometimes like in between sessions, so like some people come monthly and then they've had like a whirlwind of stuff, but then by the time they get to my couch,
They're
it's
like,
like
I'm
all right, and I'm like, but were you? Because I wouldn't have been okay, you know, like
especially when you start listing it off.
Yeah.
Everything that you've gone through. So those things help. It really helped me. So I just encourage you guys to always just reach out. Find your therapist. Find your thing, your resource to help you get through this stuff, man. Because it's possible. That's really it. Tell people where they can find you if they want to book you.
Yes, I love to talk, as you can see. So, and I love doing speaking engagements. But yes, and I am for hire. But at Therapeutic Junkie on Instagram, website coming soon. As soon as I can sit down for 5 minutes to get it up and moving, where you will be able to buy merchandise, book me. Different things like that. And I have started today doing highlights on Instagram, so you can kind of see the pictures from Hey Sis and a merchandise one. And I'm just kind of building my Instagram page. You can DM me, and I am working on getting on Facebook and maybe starting like a private Hey Sis group on Facebook. But like I said, that stuff is like a full-time job.
When she does start the group, I'm going to share it here. So if you feel like Hey Sis is something for you, you could join that group and be a part of that tight-knit community. So thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my God, this
and
was
thank you for letting me pull up to the house.
Listen,
okay?
I'm just glad it was clean today.
Because I understand. Because you can't come to mine this week. Not this week. We're doing laundry.
I had to close my bedroom door because last week's laundry is folded on the couch and this week's laundry is on the floor.
Hey, shout out to everybody out there who got to do laundry this weekend, y'all. That's a part of the struggle. We all trying to figure it out.
Man, life comes at you fast.
It does.
You got to bob and
one
weave.
load at a time, y'all.
One thing at a time. And if you don't get to it, you don't get to it. And that's self-care. Accept it.
Keep it closed in the chair and keep it moving.
Keep it moving. On the ironing board. Yep.
So, yeah, exactly. Listen, transparent conversations all day. Take care of yourself. It's Self-Care Sunday. I'm the career cheerleader. This is the Therapeutic Junkie. Y'all have a great day.